What's up, everybody? Welcome back to 30 to Life. I'm Muso Ron, and today's guest is Bade Young. Welcome to 30 to Life, Bade.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be on your show, bro.
Man, I'm glad to have you here, man. It's an honor to have you. Last week, I was on yours, and that one turned out really good, bro, man. I enjoyed it a lot.
Thanks.
So now we're going to find out a little bit about you now, and so why don't we just start off with, where you're from out here in California, where you grew up. I know you're in the Philippines now, but where are you originally from in California?
So from the Philippines, when I moved to California, I first stayed in Van Nuys area. This is in San Fernando, 818, San Fernando Valley. And I used to go to the school with the Cambodians, with the ABZ and them, because the Van Nuys and Valerio was close to that area. So immediately I saw the culture and like how the Asians get down.
Mm-hmm.
Going to that middle school. It's called Fulton Middle School.
Nice, yeah. Nice. So when you got out here, you just started school right away. Was that hard for you? Was that a culture shock?
It was because when I first went in there, I got my skinny jeans on at the time. It wasn't that cool, and I got this square ass hairstyle, and all the other Pinoys and the other Asians look at me like, what's up with this thing, right? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. What's up with this guy right here? Yeah.
Okay, so you had the little different style from the Philippines, and so you came out here, and the culture was a little different. So did you have trouble like fitting in?
They embraced me. They were like lacing me up, teaching me. Not really though, because they teaching me like how I'm supposed to dress and how I'm supposed to act. And I already understand English at the time. Yeah. I just needed to make it better. And yeah.
That's cool, man. So did you just jump right into the American culture right away, or did it take you some time to get used to?
It took me some time at first, because when I was in the Philippines, I was with the culture mostly it wasn't really hip hop like that. It was like rockers. So I was like that when I first came in there, and I was just listening to like trying to look for the rockers, and I realized that, man, I don't want to be with you know what I mean? I want to go kick you with the cool kids out over there. So I want to do what they're doing. So I transitioned from skating from little rocker dude to like a pretty boy. And then, I got the bling bling, got the hip hop now, you know what I mean? And then, wait a minute, how come the gangsters are more better than the pretty boy? So I think I want to be like them too. So I want to join you know what I mean? And somehow this how I just found my peoples, and they embraced me, and it just went down the drain from there.
So you just dove right in, man. I kind of grew up the same way, I did a little bit of skating. What kind of skateboard did you have, bro?
Man, I forgot what it was called, but man, I forgot, bro. But I knew they were the expensive ones, because they said that they have at first I bought the fake one, in which I didn't know, because it was a little bit thicker. And then the real skaters like, nah, man, these are the ones. And but I remember wearing ES shoes. Yeah. And then I remember, those. And then I would always mess up my shoes because of the kick flip and the heel flip. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I love skating, man. I got a skateboard right now. So, it was my kids, but I skate out there all the time. I'm out there doing ollies and shit like that. So, I look hella crazy with my gray beard and shit out there skating, but I love to skate. So,
okay. I understand.
Yeah, but so you did all that. You started getting involved with just different groups and trying to fit in, and so what group did you end up landing in? As far as the cool group goes.
Okay, well, at first, bro, as mentioned also in my channel, I started because I be seeing the Asians fighting with the Mexicans at my school. This was back in '99, 2000.
Oh, okay.
And So they're like the Cambodians, they embraced me also. You're with us, come, So I'm like, yeah, of course. I'm all about the cause. I want to be with the friends. So I would fight. Sometimes I would, in a riot, I would go with them and fight the Mexicans too. And even the Samoans during that time were with us. And we were little kids. We didn't even know any better. This is in the 818. And then I used to go to like I said, I used to go to the Van Nuys Valerio project where all the Cambodians at in the 818, and they were embracing me. They're like, oh, okay, because you're Asian, but there would always be some people in there that would like, fuck flip flops.
Yeah.
They would say shit like that, and I'm like, what does that even mean? I had no idea that the Cambodians had their thing, and then the Filipinos had their thing. It wasn't like I wasn't thinking like that first. I thought we were all the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So they beat me up, and they jumped me. Yeah.
So after that, you were like, "Fuck this! I'm gonna go hang out with the Filipinos."
Yes,
Yeah.
and they saw me. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So did you end up getting involved with gangs after that and started, a different type of life?
Yeah. So ever since after that, like, yeah, I started getting involved, and I finally got into Jeff Rock's gang. It's a Filipino gang, old school, old one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it was an all Filipino gang, was there some mixed people in there too?
Oh yes, yes. There's a lot of Mexicans in there also, because the LA culture in the west side of LA, and then a lot of Koreans also because of K Town
Oh, okay.
in the west LA. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So in comes the gang life. You're getting involved in that. Did you start getting into a lot of trouble, or did it take a little time you built up to it, or just right away you were getting in trouble?
It was building up because I got kicked out in my first high school, which is Monroe High School, and then I went to Polytechnic High School. I also got kicked out like within a few weeks, and then continuation school, and then it wasn't going well, so I transferred to another continuation school,
Mm-hmm.
and then that was the last round. I haven't seen the streets then for 13 years after that.
Damn. Oh, okay. So were you getting on a lot of fights, and that's the reason why you're getting kicked out?
Yes, fights, and then I was getting jumped also by
Oh, okay.
by some Mexicans. I got set up. I'm not gullible, you know what I mean? Like till
So
today, yeah.
So, I mean, I hear the gang thing and everything, but it's always predominantly Mexican gangs that you guys are fighting with, So would you say that, you kind of just felt more comfortable with your peoples, and it was just something that you were just thrown into, really?
Something that I believe something it was just thrown at me because uh, I like the camaraderie. Like at first, like, oh, you're my friend, you have my back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm loyal also. I'll have your back too. We're not gonna leave each other. That's how my mentality was, or how I was raised in the Philippines. So, okay, so your enemy is also now my enemy, and it doesn't matter because we're friends. So
Right, right.
that's how I looked at it.
Okay, okay. So, eventually it led up to getting arrested and things like that. Did you do any juvenile hall time or any YA time or anything like that?
Oh yes. First it was the house. I've been in the house for like a week. I went home I got caught with the brass knuckle and some knife, and then for the 13 years, that was the long stretch. I was in the Silmar Juvenile Hall for a year, '03 to '04, and then '04 to '06, I was in CYA.
Uh, okay,
Uh,
okay. So was it just your first time in juvenile hall, or you've been there several times?
Second time
Second
my
time.
long stretch was the long stretch. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So let me take you back to that first time you went to juvenile hall. How long did you serve that first time?
Okay, just for the weekend.
Just for the weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, because that's your very first time ever being locked up, even though it was for a weekend, how did that feel to you? Were you crying? Were you like, you know, did you feel tougher, you know, when you got out? I mean, what was that experience like?
Oh yeah, yeah. When I first went in there, this is what I remember my first time in Silmar Juvenile Hall. Um, they put me in the cell with another white boy, and he was already sleeping because I came there at nighttime.
Mhm.
And then he's like, "Who are you?" Like I'm, you know what I mean? And I just felt like I need to step it up because when I was in the streets, I was talking all this shit like I'm a gangster supposedly.
Mhm.
So there's no I'm backing down and I'm just gonna go all the way like I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so make me
Re-
sad. Being locked in a little cage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
So
were pretty young then too, right? How old were you?
oh, my first time like
Yeah.
14.
14
Yeah,
years old. Yeah, that's
yeah.
pretty young, man. Even just to do a weekend though, you know. So you know, here you are in juvenile hall, and you know, before that you went through some trouble in school, getting kicked out, getting involved in gangs and things like that. Uh you said you know, you were attracted to that type of life. Was there anything else that maybe pushed you into the gang life, do you think? Or it's just all about, you know, I just wanted to prove myself and prideful? Because the reason why I'm asking you, Bade, is because, you know, everyone has their reasons why they hit the streets or they join gangs, you know. Some people join it because they just don't have good family backgrounds, or some people just join it because, you know, they don't have other people that feel like got their backs or whatnot. So how about you? You know, what really was the driving force for you to get involved in that?
Okay. What do you call this? From my according to my self-evaluation, uh, besides want to be cool and be popular and get the girls and make a name for yourself and whatnot, I think because gang banging was like the thing during that time or whatever, and uh, I think it's because also about the hate in my heart in which I didn't really know what was the hate about. So it led me to become violent towards others because growing up in the Philippines, uh, I used to get like beat up also. Like who didn't get beat up here, right? And somehow it made me feel like, okay, I think it's my turn to beat up somebody else and be violent towards others now. Because when I'm doing it, it makes me feel cool, makes me feel good somehow to release unresolved anger, you know. So I think that kind of did a little bit of something too, because I could have just looked at the money, like forget all of this. Let me just focus on my. Yeah, I could have. I should have. Could have. Would have. Should have. Right.
Right.
But I didn't at the time. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And you know, it's cool that you said that because, you know, that's what happens with a lot of people, you know, they just don't know how to express themselves. You know, like with me, I was a shy kid. So, you know, I didn't really speak up at times, and it took me a while to really fight for myself. And so when I started doing that, I know exactly what you're talking about. I felt that same kind of, you know, pride and power, you know, like, hey, I'm sticking up for myself. You're not going to just push me around like that no more, you know? So
Yes.
yeah, I think for me, it was a kind of the same thing. It was more of a security, more of, I felt stronger and felt like I could stand up for myself, you know, especially having the
Yeah.
homeboys with you and things like that. People who have
Yeah.
been through shit been through the same shit as you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Eh,
go ahead.
Oh no, I just want to point that out also because, like you said about the homeboy, so I think I'm hard because I know I got homies, and
Yeah.
also because of the guns. Yeah, because of the guns. So I think I thought I was a man
Right.
because I had a gun.
Exactly. And that's what you just said right there. You know, see, as far as me, just speaking for myself, I didn't know what it was like to become a man. So I thought that, you know, joining a gang or grabbing a gun, that's how we handle things, you know? So yeah, so it's cool that you mentioned that because, you know, when we're young, we're out there trying to find our way as far as, you know, where we make our mark in this world or in this life. You know, little boys trying to become men. And so if we don't have the proper guidance, you know, we're going to do it the way we think we know how, you know? So, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a trip. So here it is. You're in juvenile hall for your first time. Did you ever think like, you know what, I'm going to get out of here, man. Even though it was for the weekend, I'm going to leave this shit alone, man. I'm going to start doing something better with myself. Or did you just go right back into it and it got worse?
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of studied the situation and came to the conclusion that I'm gonna go all the way because some of the homies from my generation came out and they were cool. They were like, so I wanted to be like them also. And at the same time, during those times, I'm still like somehow expecting like a miracle. Even throughout the whole YA, I'm still expecting a miracle that they will say that I think this guy had enough. You should let him out now. I think he learned his lesson. You know, like somehow, like something like that. I was being delusional I was lying to myself.
Yeah. And I did the same thing, bro. You know what I mean? Like just not really just looking at yourself and realizing you're the one that put yourself in this position, you know, always looking at it as like, I'm a victim here, you know?
Yeah.
I'm doing better now. Let me out, you know? So yeah, man, that's crazy. So it got a little worse and shit. And so you went home from juvenile hall after serving a weekend. How long until you caught your second case?
Oh, bro, it wasn't really that long. Like within a few months.
Okay. What was it for?
Oh, for shooting and for stabbing.
Okay.
Yeah, on my own people.
Oh, on other people,
So,
like as far as your gang?
I mean on other Filipinos also.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, ain't it crazy? Because you know we talked about things like that on my video, and I just feel, you know, like how we fight each other and things like that. We're riding on each other and things like that. But you know, when it comes down to it, we end up in jail and we end up hanging out with each other. Don't you think that's kind of crazy?
I think so too.
and you know, we're from the same background and everything, but yet, you know, we allow the colors or the gangs to separate us, even though we're the same peoples. You know, it's sad that it happens like the way, but you know, when you're young, you don't look at it that way. You don't understand that, you know, the gang is everything, you know? Yeah. It's pretty sad, man. So, you know, you catch this case, a shooting and a stabbing. So basically you just went all out like you said you would. So you go to court, okay, and you got these charges on you. Was that the charges that stuck with you, or did you plead bargain?
Okay. At first, I was just busted for the shooting, and then in the middle of while fighting my case, another case that I thought I got away with, which was the stabbing, came up and doubled up, made sure that they put as much cases on me so that I can get some time from, you know, payback basically.
So you were locked up already, and they brought another case on you.
Yes, the stabbing one.
That's crazy.
So, gang enhancement.
Yeah. So they're gonna watch you regardless. So how old were you at the time?
Okay. I got picked up from the streets. I left the streets on October 2003, and my birthday was July. So it was just a few months that I had turned 15. It wasn't really that I was 15 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
You had mentioned that you got tried as an adult. So basically, how did they figure that, you know, like that you should be tried as an adult? Was it that violent, or?
I think it's because my crimees were adults, and what I didn't really understand was how come they direct filed me when I noticed the other kids were being given the chance to fight for their fitness and stay as a juvenile.
Right.
I don't understand why they just straight took me to the adult section in Silmar Juvenile Hall. Like, not this guy right here.
Mm-hmm.
How did they see that? Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering if it might have been because of the gang enhancements or something like that. What year was this?
2003, October.
Right, right. Yeah, so they were handing out gang enhancements and things like that. So yeah, so they take you to a certain side of the juvenile hall where people are going to be sentenced to YA and prison.
Yes, inside Silmar Juvenile Hall, they have the buildings in the middle. During my time, it's WXYZ, and they have like a cage surrounded it to make us feel like get ready for the maximum security, man. You guys are dangerous kids, and they made me feel that way for the whole time. So, you know.
Now, were you when you were there waiting to get sentenced or anything, were you getting in any trouble? Were you getting involved with the same kind of stuff you were doing on the streets?
Yes, at this time, I was still, I like to call it, because I wasn't looking at the bigger picture. If I can't really know what the hate is going on in my heart, I call that, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna sugarcoat that one.
Yeah.
And that's how I was in juvenile hall. I didn't trust my own people. I just trusted like my street gang. And I know that even though he's Cambodian and he's supposedly Asian, I'm taking off on you. We're enemies. I hate you.
Right.
You know, because I can't trust you. You were shooting at me, and I'm shooting at you. You know how, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, you're in there. Did anybody ever, like a counselor or a teacher, anybody in your life ever try to, you know, talk to you and say, hey man, what's going on? You know, why are you acting like this? Why are you doing this kind of stuff? You know?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, my mom, my parents, they did not, they made sure that they made me understand. It's just that I wasn't able to comprehend. I didn't believe. I was just too selfish. I was just only concerned of what I want, not about them at the time. And I wasn't going to listen, you know. And plus, not to mention being under the influence with almost everything, that it didn't help either. It clouded my brain. Wasn't able to think straight and look at the bigger picture at the time. Yeah.
Right. You know, because you remind me of you. That's why I'm digging into this a lot, because you remind me, you know, like when I hear your story, and it's really similar to the way I was growing up. And, you know, I was the same way. I just really didn't want to hear shit. You know what I mean? I just was acting a fool, and people would try to tell me, and I just felt like I knew it all, you know, like, no, you don't know shit. Don't tell me nothing, you know?
I was just going to say that. Mr. Know-it-all. Yeah. We're all Mr. Know-it-all, Miss Know-it-all. Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
I was going to say that.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering, you know. And so you were just an angry kid, and I was the same way, man. So everything was about, you know, whatever, let's do it. So, you know, you put in work now, and you know, you're heading for the big house. What was that like in court when the judge sentenced you? How did you feel, you know, and how much time did you receive?
Okay, being sentenced at that young age, 15, man, I didn't really grasp the concept of the situation at the time. I felt numb, like, yeah, whatever. I don't think it's real. You know, I think it's just whatever. Maybe you ain't scaring me. You know, I'm still Jeff Rocks. I'm still this street gang members, you know, street guy, you know, and that's how I was thinking at the time. And I had to be pumped up, because at any given moment you would have like racist or evil people that would test me, and I would have no choice but to lay a demo down and keep laying a demo down.
Yeah.
You know?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So, you know, so how much time was it again they gave you?
Oh, they actually gave me 14 years. 2 strikes.
85%.
85%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're 15, you get 14 years, 2 strikes, 85%. Man, that's crazy.